This art journal page is a picture of my life, and the things I want to share with you today are very personal and close to my heart. I started off meditating on the verse from Hebrews 10:25, "Therefore he is able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through him, since he always lives to make intercession for them." And as I drew out ideas about how to portray this verse, I came to a picture of a bridge and a deer. And I wanted to draw some mountains, and I wanted to show this idea on this art journal page. I made an outline of mountains, and I covered it with ink, white ink, because the highest mountains are always covered with snow. And on these mountains, I have the words written out of this verse. This white ink will cover most of the words as I paint with my brush. And while I'm painting, I meditate on the words. There are many trees in the foreground, which I'm creating with green and blue and dark colored inks. And this is a forest that I picture in the foreground. As I drip the blue and green and dark colored inks, I am thinking about the forests of our lives. So many times in life, it's like walking through a forest where we don't know what is ahead of us or around the corner. And there's so many uncertainties as we walk through these paths that are ahead of us in our lives. The trees are made with just poured ink and a rough paintbrush, and I just wanted to cover the foreground, depicting the uncertainties as we walk through the paths of our lives. Oftentimes, when we walk through life, we need to know that somebody is watching over us. We need to know that God cares about the paths that we take. And it is a comfort to know that He does care and He is watching over us. And for a long time, I had this prayer in my heart ever since I was young, that God would use me, that God would use my art. And I never knew how it would be that God would use these things. I'm creating the bridge with a paper cut. So the first thing I do is take a tracing paper and draw an outline over the page. And on that bridge, I drew a deer. I stuck this tracing paper on a piece of black paper, and I started to cut with my craft knife. A deer is a symbol that I have chosen for my own life, because there's a verse in the Bible that says, "As a deer pants for streams of water, so my soul longs after you." And all my life, I have known that God takes care of me, and I have longed for God. And I have always had this awareness that God is with me. So the deer symbolizes the longing that I have for God. And an amazing thing happened to me recently when I attended a prophetic art seminar. And in that seminar, I was depicting a picture of mountains and a deer on top of the mountains. And after this workshop ended, the instructor gifted me a small box with a picture of a deer on it. It meant so much to me because the deer was something I always thought of as my own heart longing for God. And it was like God reminding me, I know your longings. I know you are there. I have heard the prayers you have prayed, and I'm watching out for you. Through someone I had met for the first time, God encouraged me. And I continue to walk on my path, longing for God. And this art journal is a picture of this, that I am walking on a bridge which leads to a future I don't know. And to some extent, all of us are walking into the future that is unknown. But as we walk, we are not alone. God is watching over us. And the Bible tells us Jesus makes intercession for us. Even though we may not know what the future holds, God knows what the future holds for us. And even though sometimes it may feel like we're walking in mist, we're walking in unknown places, God knows all things, and there is no place we can go where God cannot be with us. The Bible tells us, if we are in the depths, God is there with us. If we are in the heights, there He is also. We can take comfort knowing that there is no place that is too dark for God. There is no place that is too far where God cannot be with us. If we are walking in faith, if we are seeking the Lord, we can be sure that God is always with us. He will never leave us nor forsake us. And we can take comfort in the word that says, Jesus is able to save to the uttermost those who come to God through Him. And He is able to deliver us from any circumstance of our lives. It is a wonderful thing to know that we are not alone on our journey. It is a wonderful thing to know that we serve a living God and that the words in the Bible are true. They are an encouragement for us. They are an inspiration for us. And we can walk with confidence, knowing that the bridge we are on will stand. Just like this deer walking confidently on this bridge, knowing that this bridge is leading him to his destination. If you see a bridge in the mist, like in some parts of the world, I've seen a bridge standing in the mist and you can't see the other end of it, but you know the bridge is standing because it is connected to the other side. And you know that if you're walking on it, you will surely reach the other side. Otherwise, the bridge would not even be standing there. So, our journey through life may be full of uncertainties. It may be full of unknowns. And sometimes we can't see far ahead of us. But we just have to walk one step at a time. One step each day. One day at a time. And God shows us where to go from where we are that day. We can take comfort knowing that Jesus is watching over us, He is interceding for us, and He knows the future. I continue to paint and cover this artwork with white paint because I want to show that it is very misty and the mountains are obscured. And I wanted to obscure the other side of the bridge as I continue to cover it with white ink. I hope that you are encouraged today knowing that God is watching over you and that Jesus is interceding for you in whatever problem or whatever situation or whatever uncertainty you are in. God is able to save. Jesus is able to save to the uttermost. May the Lord bless you. I hope you are encouraged today.